Hi, my name is Steve Martile, and today's video is about the predictions and also the energy and the themes around 2024. Now, I don't usually do this type of thing, but these themes came in so strongly that I had to talk about them in this video since we're near the end of 2023. And I think at any point during 2024, if you refer back to this video, you'll feel it will be helpful and insightful. Now, I just got to give a quick shout out. So I've been following Lee Harris's channel for probably a couple years now. And one of the themes he called out for 2024 with the Z's, who he channels, was this theme around life purpose. And I want to expand on what he said because I'm also getting this theme as well. And just to give you some context of what I'm talking about, I've started journaling my dreams a lot more, and I find it's given me a lot more access to, my higher self and my guides. So one of the things that have come in very recently in the last week is this theme of inner strength, okay? And the reason this is important is because I believe that a lot of us are opening our hearts more. It means that that magnetic field around the heart is becoming more in touch with the all that is. And as we become more in touch with the all that is, we start to connect more in depth, more kind of intricate level of inner strength. And so let me paint the picture for you of how this will look for some of you. So this inner strength is, as an example, would be, the day that you wake up and you have a lot of energy and you don't even know why. And you want to be able to channel that energy. You want to be able to put it into action. You want to give it a direction, especially when you have a lot of energy. So you want to do your best to use that energy in constructive ways, not destructive ways. And one of the ways is to use it to actualize your life purpose. So this inner strength that's coming right now for a lot of us is going to be a bit unexpected. And that means that, and we've maybe been going through a period where we've felt that we haven't had the highest energy, and all of a sudden the energy is starting to peak up. Now, this might not happen now because I'm shooting this video and we're still in the last week of 2023. It might not happen for you in January. It might take until February, March for this new energy to come in. But what I am telling you is that as it comes in, do your best to channel the energy in an empowering way. Do something positive with the energy. Secondly, life purpose. So the life purpose clarity that you're going to gain this year is going to be like nothing you've actually experienced before. And some of the ways that it might show up is, so for example, if you're someone who's, maybe you've got kids and you believe that your kids are your purpose, right, for being here, you're going to realize that maybe that's not the only reason you're here. You've got another purpose. And to be clear, it doesn't mean that you have to leave your job to actualize your life purpose. It may be just the way your being will show up differently. The way you perceive and the way you're being, right, for other people is enough that you're on purpose. Okay, so I want to be clear about that. It's not something you necessarily have to actualize by doing something completely different. That might be one version, where you're working in this job that you love and you actually you get a lot from the job. It provides for your family, and you're realizing that you're just going to do that in a slightly different way because now it's showing up for more of who you really are. And it's important to honor that energy because that's who you are. That's who you were here to be. And it's going to be harder to honor the old energy, the old aspect of you. So you're going to find some nuances there. Another way it might show up is that, let's say that you've been thinking for a while about maybe using your talents in a different arena. Well, what's going to happen over the next year is the opportunity to use those talents is going to show up in a more obvious way. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to leave your job and do something completely that's, completely different. It doesn't have to be that. It might be that you're doing something outside of your work that is become more like you're gardening more or you're doing something creative, and that's becoming more on purpose for you, more authentic to who you really are. And all I'm saying again is that as this inner strength starts to draw in, do something positive with the energy. Now, if you're someone who's a bit more of a light worker, who's been, you know that you're here to, on purpose, because you've got this work to do to help humanity ascend, then it's going to show up in a completely different way. And that might be in brand new business opportunities. It might need brand new clients. It might be working with clients in a different way. I mean, these are all the things that are definitely showing up for me, is that, and this energy is starting to come in, I'd say around October of last year, but I'm really starting to see clearly that this new energy that's coming in is really about, it's about others. It's about transformation. It's about helping people ascend. And then that shows up physically in my work, like in my day-to-day work, in different facets of the businesses that I'm involved in. And so that is a total another direction. But what you'll find is that this new direction, regardless of if it's very subtle and it's just a perceptual, or how you're being in your work environment, or if it's like physically how you change around and do things over the next year, you're going to find it easier to do. You're going to find it like most downstream for you. It's going to be like, I was doing it this way for 5, 10, or 15 years, but like this other way is so much more efficient, so much more meaningful to me, and so much more impactful to the people that I do it with. And that's what you're looking for. You're looking for that impact in 2024. So like I said, for some of you, it's going to have already shown up moving into the 2024 calendar year. And for a lot of other folks, it's not necessarily showing up that dramatic where you're seeing that you're doing something totally different, but it's a way of being for you. And that way of being is more authentic to who you are. So why is this relevant to you? Is that you don't want to put a lot of pressure on yourself to be like, well, I need to know exactly what my life purpose is. The best thing that you can do at this time to clarify your life purpose is to just get very clear and quiet. And that means, some form of meditation or yoga practice, or being in nature and or walking your dog in nature, and just being quiet and getting connected with all that is, getting connected with the higher self, getting connected with your guides, whatever version of support that you require at this time, just getting really connected to that support. It means disconnecting from your device. It means disconnecting from, busy work. It means disconnecting from overthinking things. It means to really disconnect and to be in a state of awareness, a noticer, to be a witness. And just as you become that witness, you're going to start to notice different thoughts, perceptions, and you're going to have a new awareness about who you are and what you're here to do. And like I said, for some of you, it's not going to be necessarily a big change in what you do. It's going to be a change in who you're being, which may change subtly your behaviors, but feels more authentically you. And that's important, because the all that is can only experience all that is if you are experiencing authentically who you are. And as you more clearly dive into this version of you that is the authentic you, what is going to happen is you're going to start to see that life is going to start flowing for you. It's going to start to provide you the opportunities that were probably always there, but now become more obvious and easier for you to execute. And that's a key thing, is that if you are actually actioning your life purpose in some form, it's going to feel very easy. It's not going to feel like something that is a chore. And that's how you know, on one level, if it is your life purpose. If you're doing the action and you feel that it's a chore, then it's probably not what you're here to do. Okay? If you're doing it and it feels Like, I'll give you an example, just taking out the trash, doing the dishes, doing the chores around the house. Those things for a long time used to feel like things that I had resistance to, but that was just because of what I believed about those things. Now I understand that those are things that you can feel on purpose as well. It can be a perceptual or a way of being that changes how you see those things. And as you start to change the way you see the rudimentary things in your life, then guess what happens? Then the other opportunities, the other possibilities that align with your life purpose will then start to show up in a bigger and more profound way. But going back to what I was saying at the very beginning, this strength, this inner strength, it's going to help you bring your purpose into focus. And again, it's going to be different timeline for everyone, but generally over the year, you will probably get to the end of 2024, October, November of next year. And when you get to those final months of the year, you're going to feel like, yeah, you know what? If I look back on my life, I did feel that there were some things that were a lot easier in my life than they have been in the past. And those things that I'm actually honoring are actually who I am. I've thought about, writing a book for 10 years and then I did it. Or I've thought about journaling and I never really put action to it, but now I'm going to do it. That's what I mean by your life purpose. And again, it doesn't have to be a physical action, but for some people it will be. It'll just be something very obvious. I'm thinking about doing some speaking, and you know what? I started doing it last year. I started doing it in 2024. So this is a very, very good year to open up your life purpose. Don't feel that you need to necessarily go in and quit your job and move on to the next thing. I want you to think of it as that there's this subtle energy moving in. It's starting to become more obvious. As you become more obvious, more and more of the breadcrumbs will reveal more and more of the truth to you. And that truth will actualize and become more aligned authentically with who you are. Okay? So that's sort of my message for this week is to honor whatever that purpose is. Don't have any expectations. Don't be too attached to it being something you thought of because you took this course or did this other thing. And when you did that seminar, you were like, that's what it was. Many times our purpose will be something more generic, like, to inspire others or to ascend humanity, but very general themes. How you actualize those themes are going to depend on what is in alignment with you. I will say this though, if you're one of the people that is actualizing your life purpose in terms of you're physically here to do some sort of work as a light worker, you're here to bring the light. If you keep honoring the old ways you've been doing things, and if they are not aligned with your heart, you're going to find it more difficult to keep doing those things. So there's a bit of a letting go, and it's a bit of a quantum leap. It's a bit of a jump. You have to move forward into the possibility without actually knowing all the answers. So there's going to be some uncertainty, and there's going to be possibly the fear of the unknown showing up for people. I've got to say though, in my own experience, in my own life, that these transitions are probably the most exciting, because if you can be okay with not knowing, and even transform that perspective, that instead of it being the fear of the unknown, it's like the unknown leads to the excitement because you don't even know what you're going to get. And that unexpected feeling, that feeling of being, I don't even know what's going to show up, but it's going to be something good. That type of expectation, that doesn't mean you're going to get what you expect either. What it does mean that if something unexpected or surprise shows up, I would say that's the theme of 2024, that those types of events, circumstances, experiences are going to be very much a part of 2024. You're going to get surprises. And just remember, those surprises are on purpose and they're serving you in some way. Even if in the moment you see the limitation in them, if you can reveal the limitation and look at it in a completely empowering way, it will move you forward to what you're here to do authentically and who you're here to be. Okay? I hope you found that useful and helpful. I'm curious, if you're watching this, what you believe your purpose is, if you have an idea of what it is, and if you could put it in the comments below and let me know what you believe it is. Like I said, for me, it's always been about the ascension, and that comes in different ways. When I'm working with a client on a book, it's a healing process for them. So they're letting go of those lower dense energies, and that's the ascension. For others, it's going to be completely different. There's no wrong answer. My point is that the only reason that you're here is because you're part of all that is, and all that is cannot be all that it is without you. So if you do have a sense of what it is and what that might be showing up in 2024, I'd love to hear in the comments below. And if you don't know, then you can say that too. I don't know, but I'm okay, and I'm open to whatever unexpected surprises show up in 2024. That's it for this week. We'll see you again next week in the new year. Thanks for watching and listening. My name's Steve. If you can give me a thumbs up, I'd appreciate that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I've got a new journal coming out in the new year that's going to be paired up with the 7-Day Manifestation Experiment, my first book, which came out last year. And I will notify you guys when the book is live on Amazon and the journal. Have an amazing end of 2023. And we'll talk to you next time.